The iPhone 16e is finally here, and I bet a lot of people are excited about the new iPhone. Now, a lot of people call this one the budget-friendly iPhone, but the question here is it really? Now, with the starting price of 60,000 rupees in India, the iPhone 16e is relatively almost 15,000 more expensive than the 2022 SE version. Yes, I understand the 16e was long overdue, as the market share for the 2022 SE version was almost down to 1%, so Apple was waiting eagerly to launch this device. But is the 16e really what the customers want? Is the $100 difference, the price difference between the iPhone 15 and the 16e, compelling enough for you to buy the 16e instead of the 15? And where has exactly Apple cut corners here to make sure that you get the iPhone 16e, all of the features, Apple Intelligence, the A18 chipset at a budget-friendly cost? Let's talk about all of that. Okay, first up, the iPhone 16e seems an exact copy of the iPhone 14 from the front, with the notch and the chunky bezels being continued. Now, compared to the iPhone 16 series, you can clearly see that the bezels are relatively quite thick. Now, it's using ceramic glass, which, by the way, is Apple's strongest glass till now. Weight is almost the same as the 16, and you even get IP68 water and dust resistance. So, the 16e is a robust smartphone. Now, there is the action button, which has been continued on this one, which means you can customize it for a lot of the features. You also get this feature on the 15 Pro and the 16 series. And overall, I think the 16e design-wise is a solid proposition. But, are you okay with a notch in 2025? Remember, Apple has discontinued the iPhone 14, 14 Plus, and even the 2022 SE. So this new SE kind of is the entry point for a lot of the people who are wanting to get into the Apple ecosystem. But it's not really a forward-looking device in terms of the design, because you're still holding on to the old design. However, if the customers do not really have a problem with that, and if they are okay with a phone in 2025 that looks like the older iPhone, I think the design should not be a problem. Now remember, the iPhone 16e is powered by the A18 chipset. Now this is the same chipset that is on the iPhone 16 as well. It even offers support for Apple Intelligence, which is great. Now you get access to all of these nifty AI features like object erasing, summaries, etc. And remember, the iPhone 15 does not have that kind of an advantage, which I'm sure would confuse a lot of people when they are trying to choose between the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 16e, which one should you buy? We'll talk about that later. However, remember, this is not the exact same A18 chipset that you are getting on the 16, because it has one lesser GPU core, which will definitely have an effect if you are looking for high definition gaming on the 16e. But apart from that, everything in terms of handling complex tasks and multitasking, this is ideal and almost equally capable as the 16. Remember, you are getting an entry into the Apple ecosystem and also 6 to 7 years of software and security support with Apple iOS. So I think you're getting a comprehensive deal with the 16e. But the real game changer here is the C1 modem that Apple is using this time. Now, this new 5G modem has been built by Apple, which means it not only saves up on power, but also works seamlessly with the Apple ecosystem, offering you better connectivity and performance. However, it is noteworthy to mention that it does not support millimeter wave, and it's mostly for lower band frequencies. And millimeter wave, by the way, is available on the iPhone 16 series. While a lot of the countries are still exploring 5G, there is not a lot of bandwidth for millimeter wave rollout, the higher 5G speeds, which I think is a good move from Apple to launch the 16e with the C1 modem. You're getting very better battery here, and not a lot of countries, especially the target audience for the 16e, have millimeter wave or higher 5G speeds. So I think the combination with C1 helps Apple sell this device better. Not to mention, another tech that it's missing is the support for ultra wideband, which is important for people who use AirTags, smartphone, and even the AirDrop. It's not going to be a big difference if you use it on a daily basis and don't use these utilities, but I'm just mentioning this feature is missing. Storage options start from 128 GB and go all the way up to 512 GB, and there's also 8 GB of RAM, which is now standard across all of the iPhone 16 series, and I think it's great. 8 GB in 2025 for Apple devices is a bare minimum. Overall, I think the phone delivers good performance. We haven't tested it yet, but again, the A18 chipset is what we have tested on the 16 series, and it is a capable device. So assuming that the core definition of the 16E chipset is similar to what we get on the 16, you will get optimum performance. Now, moving to the camera, there is a single 48 megapixel shooter on the rear of the 16E that supports 2x telephoto zoom, which primarily is software enhanced, looks optical quality but isn't optical. Now, there is support for 4K 60 FPS recording, but it misses out on some of the unique camera UI features which we see on the 16, like the real-time tone adjustment and obviously functionalities of the camera control button, which you get with the 16. That's missing on the 16E. Those standard images will be clicked at 24MP. You can bump up the resolution to 48MP on the 16E, so that definitely enhances your photo experience. On the front, you're getting a 12 megapixel camera, which is the same as what you get on the 16, and the missing ultra-wide sensor on the rear is the only deal breaker for a lot of people. It could be a deal breaker for a lot of people, but I think despite that, 48MP on the 16A budget-friendly iPhone, I think still works because you're getting 4K recording as well with the smartphone. However, we will reserve our judgment for later, because when we get the phone, when we review it, when we test out the camera, that is when we will give our verdict on how good the camera really is. Battery-wise, Apple is not giving out official numbers for the 16E battery. It never does for the iPhone, but it is saying that you are getting enhanced battery life with the 16E because of the more power-efficient C1 modem and, let's just say, an underpowered GPU, because 26 hours of video playback is what Apple is claiming, which is 6 hours more than the previous model. So definitely you are getting exemplary battery performance with the 16E, and people who prioritize battery on the iPhone should consider this one when it is launched. Remember, you're getting USB-C, the charging speed almost remains the same as the 16, so you're not really compromising a lot in the battery department. Okay, so to conclude this one, it's a bit tricky. You see, the iPhone 16E starts in India at 60,000 rupees for the 128 GB variant. Now, this is relatively more expensive than the 2022 version, which was launched at somewhere around 45,000 rupees. Now, compared to the 15 in India, which is currently priced at 70,000, do you really think that the 10,000 rupee difference makes it worthy to go to the 15? Remember, look at the pros that the iPhone 16E offers. You're getting Apple Intelligence, better battery thanks to the new C1 modem, and also the A18 chipset. Honestly, I don't really find the purpose to buy the 15 instead of the 16E just for the difference of rupees 10,000, because yes, if you really need the ultra wide camera and also the display on the front looks similar to the 2025 and the future versions of the iPhone, I think the 16E is a better deal here. Sure, one can say that the 16E doesn't offer a lot of color options. You just have the white and the black, but you can always slap on those fancy covers because most of the people do that, right? But then, I'm telling you, this whole aura of a budget-friendly iPhone dies with the 16E. I mean, if it would have been priced around 45,000, 50,000 rupees, then we can say this is truly a budget-friendly iPhone. But 60,000 rupees, 10,000 difference, I won't really now put it in the budget-friendly category. So yes, those dynamics now really change for the 16E, the SE series, as we can say. Remember, the iPhone 16E will be available in India starting the 28th of February. You can go online and pre-orders will open the 21st of February. Remember, we'll be having the device with Fiiber very soon, so stay tuned for all of the reviews and first look of the device when we get them. But let us know in the comment section, how excited are you for the iPhone 16E. Till the next time, this is Cyrus signing off. I'll be back with another interesting tech video. Take care.